Hey besties, it's Joel, and today I'm sharing with you something that's been highly requested on this channel for many months now, and that is my Notion setup. Ever since I posted screenshots of my workspace on Twitter, a lot of you have then since converted to Notion or have asked that I share how I use Notion on a day-to-day basis. And it's with this that I'm really excited to announce that this video is in partnership with Notion, who have very kindly sponsored today's video so that I can take you on a tour. Notion has just been one of my dream sponsorships since starting the channel, and now that I finally get to work with them like this, it's surreal, and I only have you to thank for that because of the way you've interacted with like my content over on Twitter and just showing that you've wanted to have this Notion tour for a while. It's really helped get this partnership going. And so for today, I thought I'd give you a little bit of a background into what Notion is, give a tour of how I keep myself organized through my personal life, through my productive lives, through like YouTube and my schoolwork. And it's not even just organization. Like, some people aren't as organized in their daily lives, and that's completely okay, but Notion also helps keep track of the things that you want to keep track. It's really a versatile software. But before we get into it, if you've yet to check out my Twitter nor my Instagram, I would highly recommend you go do so, because I post some extra content that you're not gonna see here. So to those who are unaware, Notion is an all-in-one workspace which I use to keep track of my personal life, my productive life, and my collections. So like the films that I watch, the animes that I watch, the Korean dramas that I watch. I'd used a bullet journal for years before converting to Notion, and me being a perfectionist, I found that the bullet journaling system did come with a few caveats, noting that once I did a page, if I went one step out of line, I'd probably rip the entire page out, and I would just hate the pages if they were just slightly misaligned or just slightly wrong. And that's where I fell out of love with bullet journaling. However, with Notion, I can change up my Notion pages however I want. If I'm feeling like a different vibe or aesthetic, it's really easy to change it without actually having to delete the page and do it all over again. It's just a really versatile software. You can create so much with it. I've seen people create recipe pages. I've seen people create budget trackers. I've seen people create whole websites using Notion. And it's just really surreal to see just how expansive the software can be. I definitely also take some inspiration from people who have used Notion. I'll leave some of those inspirations in the description down below for you. I also use Notion to collaborate as well, particularly with short story work, where if I want a friend or critique partner to read my short story, it's really easy just to make a Notion page public and send the link to a friend, hoping to get some critiques in return. And I use the comment software and tracking as well in order to make sure that I'm getting those comments from my peers. And I just really like it because it keeps everything in one place. I also want to note that I am on the Notion Personal Pro plan because I basically do use this app every single day of my life, and I feel like that is a worthy investment in order to make sure that I can use the whole range of Notion capabilities. And I also use the Notion Enhancer, which basically gives me word counts. It also gives me tabs and a few other little things, and I'll leave them linked in the description down below as well. But if already by the sound of this you feel like Notion is something that you'd love to try out, I'll have a link in my description that you can use to go check out Notion and test it out for yourself, because I definitely think it's one that it does have a little bit of a learning curve, but once you get your hands on it and start playing around with it, there's so much you can do with it, and it is amazing. And so yeah, without further ado, let us get into the tour. Okay, so we're on my dashboard, and immediately I know it does seem like there's a lot, but once you break it down, it does get really simplistic. So I have an audio file at the top, which is Comme des Garçons by Rina Sawayama, one of my favorite songs from the album. And then as we lead down, we have the page broken up into 4 columns, and making columns is really simple because you have one column here, and then as you create another paragraph, you can literally drag and create another column by there. It's so simple. And so I really like it because you're able to chop and change the sizes as you wish. So you can make things bigger or smaller depending on how you want things to appear. On my dashboard, I have 4 columns, as I've mentioned. I have my main character lifestyle, which is basically my personal life and things that I want to keep in my personal life. Productive projects, so that's everything to do with my writing, my university work, and also my content creation, as I'm doing today. We then have a picture for the aesthetic, the vibe. This is by Polly Florence, who is just such an amazing Instagram account. I love her work. And then as we go again, we have our tracking through the year. I don't have a calendar on Notion. I I used to have a calendar on Notion, but I found that I didn't really use the calendar function that much in terms of keeping track of like my personal life. I more so use it for productive senses. And so this tracker keeps like, it just centers me and shows that, oh, we're like almost finished with the month, or oh my gosh, we're almost a third of the way through the year, which is really scary to think about, to be fair. This is a widget that I got from Indifico, I believe. I'll also have them linked in the description because they also create some really nice widgets that you can chop and change for your needs as well. Then we have a quote from the Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and my Mac is dying. I need to like get that charger in. I kind of set it up as though it was like a personal homepage on a website, and hence why I have all my links there. And also, if one day I suddenly get amnesia and I don't know who I am, then I can just go to this page and be like, that's who I am. And then on the last column, this is basically where all my collections are. So we have the Great Library, which is like my books, television, movies, anime, and podcasts. And those are like the main things that I want to keep track of. Korean dramas are in the television stuff because they're all shows. And then I just have a picture of like a statue. So yeah, that's basically like the general gist of like my homepage. And I just find that it's really nice to have one central hub for everything so that you're not always going to the menu trying to find things. And so I just find that this is a really nice place to be centered. I'll show you like a few of my pages. I'm in the process of like redoing my Notion, so some pages such as like my habits and my skincare haven't been done, because for habits I'm waiting to read Atomic Habits, and with skincare I'm still like trying to perfect my skincare method and also trying to think about how I'm best presenting skincare on a Notion page. For now, let's go into the vision board, because I feel like vision boards are always such amazing things to create, and vision boards are a collage of images, pictures, and affirmations of one's dreams, desires, designed to serve as a source of inspiration and motivation. And so I have like a little castle, because fantasy of course, and then small steps every day and some quotes by some amazing authors. And then I have some goals for fictional fates and also my writing. By like the end of this year, I kind of want to get to 100k. Don't know if that'll actually happen, but you know, it's aspirational. We're living an aspiration. And then we have my writing goals, and most of them are basically just ensuring that I have a draft of a novel ready for publication and querying agents. And so it's something that I'm really aiming towards by the end of this year. And I just think vision boards are also amazing because they really just center you in knowing what you want and the steps you're going to take in order to achieve that. Like I said, with habits, it's like wanting to read Atomic Habits before making this page, same with skincare. But then we get to memories, and memories, these are quite personal pages, so I won't show you like the in-depthness of them, but we basically come to this like hub page where we have Love Me For Me by Rina Sawayama, again, such an iconic song. And then we have 4 different journals. We have a life journal, which I basically use to categorize like memories and events that I want to talk about and discuss as a form of catharsis. I think that it's really important to have somewhere to just write. No one's ever going to see my life journal, so I can just do what I want with it. I can write as much as I want with it. I can reveal parts about me that I don't want anyone else to see. We then have the gratitude journal, which is basically where I log down one thing every day that I'm thankful for. I really like the fact that I have a place of positivity, and I think I wrote down like dirty chai the other day because I had discovered it and I was like, I'm really thankful for this drink. And like yesterday, I think I was like, I'm really thankful for my writing friends, Circe, Asia, and Joelle, because they had read one of my short stories and really loved it. And so it was just really nice to like get their encouragement from them. It was great. And then we have the travel journal, which basically once Rona is over and we're out of this panoramic, I definitely want to start traveling. It's definitely something that I want to do more of. Like I have been to like different places within like the UK, and like I've loved just being able to explore new places and meet new people and stuff. So I definitely think a travel journal would be something I'm really invested in. And then we have a quote journal, which basically is where I'm noting down all of my favorite quotes and stuff, because they can either be used as sources of inspiration or just things that I would just love to use in the future for things. So we have that. And then we get on to fitness. This is something that I don't talk a lot about. So I really love the gym. It's weird, but I really love it because I just feel like it allows me to be so much more confident in my body. And so I'm really looking forward to going back to the gym once we're allowed to, which is on May 3rd. Once my student student finance comes in, I'm definitely going to be investing in some new fitness gear and going to the gym again because I'm really excited for it. On my fitness page, we have fitness information. So we have macros, which are basically like what I want to be eating at that point in time, either to order to gain muscle, maintain what I'm currently at, or be cutting. Then we have like fitness goals, which are basically like the things that I want to attain through going to the gym, and that's like growing my body confidence, building visible muscle, perfecting my workout form, rewarding my progress, and drinking more water. Which reminds me, where did I put it? Which reminds me, stay hydrated. In the center then, we have a workout calendar. This is basically where I'm going to be logging like the workouts I've done that day and like the progress that I've made, like what weights I've been using for certain exercises. I also think I might take some photos along the way and pop them in the workout calendar as kind of like progress photos, or I'll do something like down here with progress photos because I definitely want to celebrate my progress as I'm getting fitter at the gym. Then we go on to finance, which is such a like fun topic. In this page, I have Excess, the Toxic remix though by Rina Sawayama and Britney Spears. I just find that this remix is just so good. It is so good. Like, go listen to it. It's iconic. For this, I basically wanted to simplify this page so that it was really easy to access all the information I need. So I kind of use a similar approach to my homepage. I have two aesthetic photos that give me like the kind of rich, affluent atmosphere that I aspire to be. And then we have financial trackers. So we have the income from 2020 to 2021, where I track like the money that I get from YouTube and other forms of income. Although solely at the moment in time, my only income is from YouTube and sponsorships like the one I'm doing today. And then I keep track of my subscriptions as well. So it's just really nice to have a place that I can start to be responsible about my finances, especially now that I'm 21 and having to like become more of an adult. It's definitely scary. That is frightening. I just want to ignore being an adult. I just want to go back. I want to be like, no, no. Anyway, I have some financial goals for myself. So I want to become more responsible in my spending because I do spend way too much on books. I want to set reasonable budgets per month because, you know, I want to make sure that I am saving money and that I'm not burning a hole in my pocket. I would also really love to be able to afford to go on holiday once a year because like I just mentioned, like I want to fill that travel journal. I want to be able to just go and explore places, and I just think using that would be amazing. And then save for a mortgage because that seems like an adulting thing to do. Although I don't really know where I want to live, but I guess saving for a mortgage is something I should do. I just looked up like financial goals and mortgage was on like a lot of them, so you know. And then pay off my student finance because, you know, student finance fucking sucks. But yeah, that's basically main character lifestyle. That's the stuff that's in my personal life that I like to keep track of, but I really like that I can just quickly go into those pages, and especially where you have some pages as favorites on Notion, it's really easy just to go and browse them as you wish. Then we go into fictional fates. Hi, you guys, what we're doing right now. So this is one of my favorite pages because it really solidifies who I am as a brand. Oh my gosh, I'm wearing the pink shirt that I'm wearing in the illustration right now. That is so weird. Okay, I did not plan for this. So on this page, I basically have kind of what I do for YouTube and Instagram and stuff. It's split into 3 columns where I have the index, my brand identity, and then just a little picture of me just to like solidify what the brand is. So we have my brand identity, which is like chaotic bisexual energy, books and beverages, and big brain waves, because we go with the big ideas here. And then we just have like some key points that I want to come across with my channel and my content, and being authentic as possible. So then we have like the content calendar, and I won't show what I've got on the content calendar because it does spoil some future content, but as you can see, I kind of try and roughly track what I'm going to be recording each and every week. Sometimes, most of the time, it doesn't go to plan, but it's really nice to have that kind of plan in place so that I have some sort of like structure to my recording and not just trying to be like, oh, what am I going to record this week? I have no idea what I want to do. I like having a plan. I like having some sort of a plan. We have partnerships and contacts, which are basically like the people that I'm working with, like Notion, and also contacts in the publishing industry that I can reach out to for advanced readers copies. I won't be showing you those pages because there's a lot of sensitive info on there. Then we get to Late Night Book Club. This is a really cute page. I just note down like the night owls and us three and what we do, kind of get Noel's and Elias's links, sharing the book club pics. I will not show you the entire page because some of you on the Discord try to get me to tell you what the future picks are, and I'm not spoiling it. I'm not spoiling it like Tom Holland, so I'm not doing it. But I think one thing that I really should do is get like a URL link for this page, and I'm gonna add that now actually. So it's really easy to add like columns to Notion databases, and you can change the property types as well. So I'm going to be changing this to a URL, and then I'll put live show link. And then it'll just be really easy for me to add the live show there. And then there's like a little link button that appears and you can just click it and be taken straight to the live show page. And so I really like that. I really like that aspect. And so I'm really like happy that I have that. But let's get into YouTube. So on the YouTube page, I have like a link to my channel and then the 2020 uploads archive, which I basically use to showcase all of the stuff that I did. And as you can see, juicy content for fictional fates. Be sure to subscribe. And then I have a meme that someone made for me from the Kate May video last year. So I will go into calendar view. We have like the East Asian reading blog, December TBR, fantasy series that I want to read. It's basically a place where I can like put where videos will go out. But then we have like video ideas for BookTube, and I won't go into detail of what's in there because there's one video series that's like right at the top that I don't want to spoil yet. But basically I will note down all of my video ideas into like one space, and then I will like create pages of them and develop them further. But the one cool thing about 2021 uploads is that I do have a template for this page. So as you can see, I go into new video title, and slowly this will start to generate a page of content for me. So when I have a video idea, let's say I have a video idea for, I don't know, let's say reading Britney Spears' favorite books. I don't know what her favorite books would be, but it just sounds like an interesting video. What is the desired outcome? I think the desired outcome would be to probably motivate people to like check out the books that Britney Spears likes and boost Britney Spears as a person. Approach and tone, I guess it would be education, because I am educating people on like the books Britney Spears likes to read. Desired audience feels, I guess compassion, excitement, happiness, and inspiration to go read these books as well. In research, I would look at like how other people have either read Britney Spears' favorite books or read like a celebrity's favorite books and see how they approached it and how they've taken it and how I can improve on like what they've done and do my own spin on it. And then I'd be like, what's this video about? Why should people click on it? I read Britney Spears' favorite books. People like her, so they might watch. It's not going to be like that, but it's usually how like I approach it. And then I usually like note down kind of A-roll, B-roll footage ideas, and then this is usually like my checklist for stuff that I do for the video. But it's just really nice to have this template so that when I go to create content, it is there and ready for me to go rather than me having to create the page every single time. As we have with Instagram as well, it's basically the same kind of layout, but I have like a kind of perspective posting schedule that I ideally would like to ascend to someday. It is not going to be around this time. No way. No way. But I like how I'm able to like change up the post type using the Notion categories. And so it's really like simple, and it'll just like change things around. And then again, I have Instagram photo ideas, and then I have like my big brain ideas, phase 2, and inspirations. And so I really like the way that I'm really able to cater Notion towards not only just like my personal life, but also my YouTube life as well. And we see this as we now progress on to My Dark Academia. This is kind of like a blend of like My Hero Academia and also Dark Academia as a whole. So as we see with already, we have a quote from Virgil, which is like, if I cannot move heaven, I will raise hell, which I find just to be funny because why not? And then it's an overview of my academic career, including important information, study notes, and study sessions. And so through this, you can see links towards like Canvas, because I can't verse with university at this moment in time, the library, JSTOR, and then my email so I can like send things off. And then we have my classes, which like basically are hub pages. And again, this comes with a template. Class template thing I got off of Twitter. If I find who like made this specific thing, I'll link it in the description down below. But essentially it gives you like a whole bunch of things that you can use in order to like make these things. Course description, enter, the module handbook and assignments, assignment 1, assignment 2, and then the lecture notes as well. And I just find it to be really nice to have, so that when I approach like a new semester of work, I can just create these pages and be off and dusted for it. Then we have my assignments, and I really like this Kanban board aspect to it, because I can basically just drag things. So I haven't started my book review, but actually I've outlined my book review so I can move it to outlined. When I'm drafting it, I can put it in there. When I've written it, I can put it in there, edited and referenced. And oh look, I've submitted my dissertation. Like, you know, I'm just so happy that I did it. But yeah, I have a study song like widget from Spotify where I have my reading/studying playlist in place. Although now I've created a separate like reading playlist, the songs of Achilles. But then I have like an example schedule, because I've like finished classes now, so I don't no longer have a schedule. Plus I didn't really want to like share my class schedule on the internet, and then my university statistics are just down there. But a lot of people asked about my dissertation and kind of how I set it up within Notion. So I created a dissertation homepage, an overview of my dissertation which contains key information, a timeline, and scheduled sessions for working on this monster of a project. And so we have this painting by Hogarth, which is A Taste of High Life. It is an 18th century piece, and it's basically part of my dissertation. And so I wanted to have something that really captures the essence of my piece, because it's to what extent were people of variable identities representing the artistic cultures of the long 18th century. Then I had a page to brain dump all of like my ideas for my diss. The place where I then did an outline, which was basically chopping it into like 3 separate sections of like the critical essay, the creative piece, and the rationale. My source reviews, where I basically went through, read the sources, and wrote like detailed reviews about each and every source. And then I had my supervisors, Chris and Judith's notes and like things they said during our calls together. And then obviously I have my whole dissertation timeline here. The dates aren't exactly correct because I did get an extension for my dissertation. So now we get onto my writing page, which is one of my favorite pages actually, because of just the way that it's out. Plus it's Dragon Age themed. So as you can see, it's literally just, it's beautiful. And I have basically like GIFs of Dragon Age settings. I have the Dragon Age playlist like there and ready to go. I have like the pages of my current works in progress. We have the Tower Library, which basically details a lot of my writing, like classes and inspirations, and the Spirit of Wisdom, which notes like more abstract inspirations such as like Dragon Age the video game, Skyrim, and like shows such as like Westworld for like sci-fi novels that I kind of want to write and stuff like that. And then we have writing goals. So the first draft of Wub Wub, which is Watch As Bend, Watch As Break, which is the current Dark Academia draft that I'm working on. I want it to be done by the 30th of July. But to show you how I've set up like a novel page, I will show you what I've done for Wub Wub. I haven't yet added an audio file for this page because I'm trying to find the song that like really resonates with this work in progress. I basically have like a brain dump, a plot outline, synopsis, and comparison titles, where I'll basically just like list a lot of stuff that I want to do. And then I have project statistics, so I'm aiming for this work in progress to be towards adult audiences of about 100 to 120k words. Literary speculative fiction, because we do have some paranormal elements in Wub Wub. Then on the other side we have project research. So like I do with my dissertation, I really love research, and so I have a research list, source reviews, and research findings, so that I'm able to like ensure that things are like distilled into like the form that I can use for my drafts. Then we also get into setting, society, and magic system under the world building. So Wub Wub does take place in our real world, but there are certain speculative elements that I will need to flesh out. But it's really nice as well, because within this I can share the pages with my friends, and they can give me critiques and stuff about stories, or just about certain elements of the story that is like not working or just needs a bit of work. And so the last page I'll now show you is the Great Library, which is basically where I log all of my reading. rating. And so in this page we have again an aesthetic photo of like a library. We then have the librarian's desk, so I've got my catalogue of books, which I will be filling out once I get all of my books in one place, so I can spend like a day or two cataloguing every single book and stuff about it. My collections, so in this one is basically where I track like the Penguin English Library, the Penguin Drop Caps, Clothbound Classics and all them. I still need to start the databases for them so that I can start properly tracking them, because I do own a lot of the Penguin English Library books already. And then we have the archives of Wan Shi Tong, which is like the owl from the Avatar The Last Airbender. And in this page I basically have all the books that I read last year. So yeah. Then we have my rating and annotation systems, which has been like requested by a lot of you for a while. This is my annotation system, my rating system, if you've ever been interested. Then we have a quote from Ursula K. Le Guin, God rest her soul. And then I have a little tea picture which was drawn by my good friend Abby, and I just love it. It just really encapsulates like the reading vibe that I want to give off of this page. And then we go down into the books that I've read so far in 2021. Now, you'll see that not all the books that I've read so far this year are present, and that is because I have a filter. Only the books that have been read within the past month will be shown, and it's really, really nice to have that, because then when it comes to wrap-ups, I can literally look at all of the books that I've read within the past month, and then I've also sorted the books by the dates that I've read them, so the earliest book that has been read will be on the top. And so, as you can see, I note down everything by like author's last name and then first name, book title, what series it is in, if it's in a series, the age category, the genre, the amount of pages that it has. I haven't done this for a while, so I definitely need to like continue on with that. The date I read it, the rating, the numbered rating, because I like to calculate the average, who published it, was it an ARC, the publication date, and then the image of the cover, because then I can do like the different view and just share the cover. It'll look cute. But what I really like about this as well is that I also have a template for my book review page. So I have like a template too, because I'm planning on like updating this with like my new style. But in this we have important information. So this is like if it's like a really important thing about the book. So like this book is by like an East Asian author, I would probably note that there. This book has like received some criticism for such and such aspect, I would note that there. In thoughts, I would note down all my reactions to the novel. Like I would usually like split it up in chapters or parts so that things aren't like muddled on the page. And then quotes, I just list some of the amazing quotes that I get. The review section is basically where I've taken all of the prompts that I've got off the Quiet Ponds blog post about writing like really good and succinct reviews, and I've just popped them in there, and it's just really nice to have because it puts everything in one space, and it just really allows me to really focus on the review itself, and I'm able to answer these questions. And as you answer the questions, you'll find that a more substantial review is being built. I'll link the blog post down below because it's also a really good blog post to reference if you're looking to write book reviews. And so yeah, that is basically what I use Notion for. I use Notion just to like keep track of everything and just ensure that I'm on like the top of my game. I'm just really excited to have finally shown you everything that I use Notion for, and just like being able to just give you like a sneak preview into what Notion can do and like what your Notion pages can be. And if you want to see me do like another video on maybe like creating Notion pages from scratch or giving some like Notion tips and tricks, let me know by leaving this video a thumbs up and commenting down below, because I definitely would love to work with Notion again on something like this. I think that is everything for today's video, and once again, if you decide to try out Notion, I have a link in the description down below that you can use. And again, a massive thank you for Notion for sponsoring today's video. I am just immensely thankful that you decided to work with me, and I hope that you enjoyed the Notion tour as well, and just seeing like how flexible and innovative and just versatile Notion can be. And I'm really excited to use it more in the future and also approach it in like so many other avenues. If you also decide to try out Notion because of me and you want to share your like Notion creations, you can either tag me on your Instagram stories on Instagram at Fictional Fates, or you can tag me on Twitter and use the hashtag Notion Twitter, because that is the official hashtag that people use on Twitter in order to share their Notion creations. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, be sure to click that subscribe button so that you're notified whenever I upload next. If you want to follow me on any other social media platforms, I'll have all my social media links in the description down below, plus a link to my Ko-fi page just in case you decided to help support this channel further and leave me a very well appreciated tip. I'm just so happy that I finally got to do this, and it just makes me so excited to see like all of the creations all of you are going to be coming up with in the future. And I hope this was a comprehensive enough tour that you got the general gist of Notion. And so yeah, I guess until the next time, bye besties.